From a fresh-faced VJ fumbling through television interviews to commanding the silver screen as one of Bollywood's most magnetic stars, this is the untold story of Aditya Roy Kapur, a man who turned rejection into resilience, silence into strength, and dreams into destiny. But what you're about to discover might just change everything you thought you knew about what it really takes to make it in Bollywood. Picture this. A young man in his early 20s, standing outside casting offices in Mumbai, clutching a portfolio that barely filled 2 pages. While his peers were landing lead roles and signing multi-film deals, Aditya Roy Kapur was learning the art of patience the hard way. Little did the world know that this quiet determination would one day create magic that would make millions fall in love. Let me take you back to where it all began. Born into a family where creativity flowed like monsoon rain, Aditya wasn't handed success on a silver platter. His mother, Salome Roy Kapur, was a former model and dance teacher who understood the entertainment world's brutal realities. His father, Kumud Roy Kapur, worked as a businessman. Growing up with brothers who were already making their mark, Aditya learned early that talent without timing means nothing in this industry. The year was 2003 when a lanky teenager with expressive eyes decided to try his luck as a video jockey. Channel 5 became his training ground, but not his comfort zone. While hosting shows and interviewing celebrities, Aditya was studying something far more valuable than any acting class could teach him. He was learning how stars carried themselves, how they spoke, how they connected with audiences. Every interview was a masterclass he didn't even know he was attending. But here's where most people get Aditya's story wrong. They think his VJ days were just a stepping stone, something he wanted to leave behind quickly. The truth is far more beautiful and heartbreaking. Those television years taught him humility in ways that early success never could have. When you're the one asking questions instead of being asked, when you're the one making others comfortable instead of being comfortable yourself, you develop something that money can't buy. You develop character. The transition from television to films wasn't a smooth red carpet walk. It was more like walking on broken glass while wearing a smile. His first film appearances were barely noticed by audiences or critics. Small roles that lasted minutes on screen but took months to land. While his contemporaries were being launched as heroes with massive promotional campaigns, Aditya was collecting experiences that would later become his greatest strength. Comment below and tell me which of Aditya's early appearances you remember, because I guarantee most people missed them completely. The real struggle wasn't just about getting roles. It was about getting respect. In an industry where connections often matter more than talent, Aditya chose a different path. He chose to prove himself one performance at a time, even when those performances were barely visible. Cast directors would look at his portfolio and wonder if this quiet young man had what it took to carry a film on his shoulders. Here's something that will break your heart and inspire you at the same time. While waiting for his breakthrough, Aditya watched peers who started after him achieve success first. Imagine sitting in your apartment, reading about debuts and box office collections of actors who were still struggling when you had already been working for years. The human spirit can handle many things, but watching others live your dream while you wait for your turn tests every fiber of your being. But champions are not made during victories. They're forged during those dark nights when giving up seems like the most logical option. Aditya's family watched him face rejection after rejection, audition after audition, meeting after meeting that led nowhere. Yet something inside him refused to break. Maybe it was the voice of his mother telling him that dreams don't come with expiration dates. Maybe it was the memory of every celebrity he had interviewed who had shared their own struggle stories during commercial breaks. The year 2009 brought a glimmer of hope with London Dreams. Working alongside established stars like Salman Khan and Ajay Devgn, Aditya got his first taste of big-budget filmmaking. But the film didn't perform as expected, and once again, he found himself back in the waiting room of uncertainty. Critics barely mentioned his performance, and audiences forgot his character's name before leaving the theater. Most people would have reconsidered their career choices at this point. But Aditya Roy Kapur was building something that the film industry rarely sees anymore: He was building patience that would eventually become legendary. Every small role was teaching him craft. Every rejection was teaching him resilience. Every day of waiting was teaching him the value of appreciation when success finally arrived. Then came the phone call that would change everything. Mohit Suri wanted to meet him for a romantic musical called Aashiqui 2. But here's the twist that nobody talks about. Aditya almost didn't get the role that would make him a household name. The makers were considering several actors, and Aditya was just one name on a long list of possibilities. Which role do you think made you become his fan? Drop your answer in the comments, because I have a feeling most of you will say the same thing. The preparation for Aashiqui 2 was unlike anything Aditya had experienced before. This wasn't just about memorizing lines or hitting marks. This was about becoming Rahul Jaikar, a character whose pain and passion would need to feel real to millions of viewers. Aditya spent months understanding the mindset of a struggling musician, the psychology of addiction, and the complexity of loving someone while battling your own demons. When Aashiqui 2 released in 2013, something magical happened that nobody could have predicted. Audiences didn't just watch Aditya Roy Kapur on screen, they felt him. His portrayal of Rahul wasn't just acting, it was emotional surgery performed in front of cameras. Every scene carried the weight of his own struggles, his own years of waiting, his own understanding of what it means to chase dreams that seem impossible. The film's success wasn't just measured in box office numbers, though those were impressive enough. It was measured in the hearts that broke and healed, along with Rahul's journey. Overnight, Aditya Roy Kapur became the face of romantic tragedy that an entire generation could relate to. His quiet intensity, his ability to convey pain without words, his natural chemistry with Shraddha Kapoor, everything clicked in ways that veteran actors spend decades trying to achieve. But here's what makes Aditya's story truly special. Success didn't change the fundamentals of who he was. While many actors become different people after their first major hit, Aditya remained the same thoughtful, grounded individual who had learned patience during his struggling years. He understood that one successful film doesn't guarantee a successful career. The real test was what came next. Ye Jawani Hai Diwani arrived like a celebration of everything Aditya had learned about timing and teamwork. Working alongside Ranbir Kapoor and Deepika Padukone, he could have easily been overshadowed by two of Bollywood's biggest stars. Instead, he created Avinash, a character so endearing and relatable that audiences remembered him long after the credits rolled. Playing the loyal friend who supports everyone else's dreams while quietly pursuing his own, Aditya brought an authenticity to Avinash that felt less like acting and more like living. This role proved something crucial about his talent. He didn't need to be the loudest person in the room to be the most memorable. His strength was in subtlety, in making ordinary moments feel extraordinary through pure sincerity. The film's massive success established Aditya as more than just a romantic lead. He was an actor who could hold his ground in ensemble casts, someone who elevated scenes just by being present in them. Directors started noticing that Aditya Roy Kapur had something rare in today's film industry. He had the ability to make audiences care about characters who weren't necessarily the hero of the story. Fashion brands began approaching him not just because of his looks, but because of what he represented. Here was a man who had earned his success rather than inherited it, who carried himself with dignity rather than arrogance, who appealed to audiences across different age groups and backgrounds. His endorsement deals weren't just about selling products, they were about selling dreams of achievable success. But Aditya's journey was far from over. He continued choosing roles that challenged him, rather than roles that merely repeated his previous successes. Malang showcased his ability to handle action and intensity. Metro Indino proved he could anchor an entire film with multiple storylines. Each project was carefully selected to add new dimensions to his craft, rather than just capitalize on his established image. What's remarkable about Aditya Roy Kapur's fan following is how personal it feels. His admirers don't just appreciate his movies, they appreciate his journey. They see in him proof that good things really do come to those who wait, that talent combined with patience creates something more powerful than talent combined with luck. His story resonates because it's achievable, because it's real, because it's human. Social media interactions reveal something beautiful about Aditya's relationship with his audience. He shares moments from his life without oversharing, engages with fans without losing his privacy, and maintains a presence that feels genuine rather than manufactured by publicity teams. In an age where celebrity social media often feels like advertising, Aditya's approach feels like conversation. His fitness journey has inspired countless young people to prioritize their health and wellness. But unlike many celebrity fitness stories, Aditya's transformation wasn't about conforming to industry standards. It was about personal growth, about becoming the best version of himself, both physically and mentally. This authenticity in his approach to fitness mirrors his authenticity in his approach to everything else. The fashion world has embraced Aditya Roy Kapur as more than just another actor who can wear clothes well. He's become a style icon because his fashion choices reflect his personality. Whether he's in casual wear or formal attire, there's a consistency to his aesthetic that feels natural rather than style. Young men across the country look to his fashion choices for inspiration because they feel attainable rather than intimidating. Looking at Aditya's career trajectory, what stands out most is his commitment to growth over glory. He could have easily repeated the same type of romantic roles that made him famous. Instead, he continuously seeks projects that push his boundaries, that require him to discover new aspects of his craft, that keep audiences guessing about what he'll do next. His upcoming projects promise to showcase even more versatility, more depth, more of the quiet intensity that has become his signature. But perhaps the most exciting thing about Aditya Roy Kapur's career is that it feels like we're still in the early chapters of his story. The foundation he built through patience and persistence is now supporting bigger dreams, more challenging roles, more opportunities to surprise audiences who think they know what to expect from him. The entertainment industry needs more stories like Aditya Roy Kapur's, stories that prove success doesn't always look like overnight fame and instant recognition. Stories that show how character developed during struggling years becomes the foundation for sustained success. Stories that remind us that the most satisfying victories are the ones that take time to achieve. As we watch Aditya Roy Kapur continue to evolve as an actor, as a person, as an inspiration to millions, one thing becomes clear. This is only the beginning. The quiet young man who once hosted television shows and waited patiently in casting offices has become a force that cannot be ignored. And the best part? He's still growing, still learning, still surprising us with what he can accomplish. Aditya Roy Kapur's story is proof that in a world obsessed with quick fixes and instant gratification, there's still power in patience, still value in persistence, still magic in believing that your time will come. His journey reminds us that dreams don't have expiration dates, that talent combined with character creates something unstoppable, and that the most beautiful success stories are the ones that take time to unfold. This is only the beginning of Aditya Roy Kapur's story. Don't miss what comes next, because something tells me the best is yet to come.